What is up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about how to use the law of awareness in order to manifest anything you want into reality. Now, what is the law of awareness? Basically, the law of awareness is basically the state of being that you are consciously in. Now, throughout the day, we go through many different various states of consciousness, and the main thing we have to do is become aware of the things that we are going through day to day. We have to be more aware of how we feel and why we're feeling it. We have to be more aware of what we want, what we desire, and where we're going. And this ultimately brings out the self-realization of the desire that we want. Now, for any manifestation, you have to understand that the first thing that you could ever want in a manifestation or for your manifestation is simply the desire. So when it comes to desire, you have to have the awareness of what you truly want and why you truly want it. I guess it doesn't necessarily matter too much of why you want it, but what you want. And typically the why is it'll make your life better. It'll make your life happier, more desirable. It'll make your life a lot better than what it may be right now. So when it comes down to it, awareness and your desire are the main two things that you need to be in control of on a day-to-day basis, and you need to understand why and what you are looking for. Now, after you have your desire, it gets a lot easier from here, but the third thing I'd say is you have to understand that everything that is happening in your physical reality, so basically everything that's happening in your quote-unquote 3D world, everything that you see around you is basically just a circumstance and a manifestation of your inner self, your inner being, your inner self-talk, your inner imagination. And you have to think about it this way. Okay, so when you were younger and you saw your friends in middle school, and let's say you didn't have your first phone, everyone around you had their first phone. They were walking around with their iPhone freaking 6 and whatever. They're walking around with their iPhone, and in your mind's eye, you had that desire, you had that want, you had that, you wanted it and you were hoping for it. And you had that desire, whether it's because it looked cool or whether it's because it would make your life easier, make your life better. You wanted that iPhone. So you would go into that feeling state of already having it. Sometimes you would take, borrow your friend's phone and use it. Sometimes you would, take the phone from your cousin and play on it. You would get into that feeling state of having it already. And in your mind, you would even imagine yourself having it, and this is what brings on the manifestation of getting it. Every single thing around you, everything around you right now is just simply a manifestation of your mind. If you're in your room right now, or if you're out in public, or anywhere you are in life right now, if you look around, you just have to understand that everything that you're seeing is just simply crystallized thoughts. And what I mean by this is that everything around you is just a thought. It was once a thought. So the phone that you're watching this through, the laptop that you may be watching this through, your room, your house, the car that your parents drive, everything, it was just once a thought. Someone had a vision in their mind and they thought to themselves, oh, wouldn't this make life much easier? Wouldn't this make life much better if I made this real, or if I made this come to fruition? So basically every single thing in your life, every single physical thing that you're seeing on the 3D is simply a manifestation of what you got going on within your mind's eye. And once you have this awareness, basically what I was talking about at the beginning, the law of awareness, once you have this state of awareness, this state of understanding, this state of knowing, then you no longer are so attached to your 3D world. You're no longer so attached to chasing and trying to get, because you're no longer externalizing everything. You're now looking inward. Now you're saying, okay, if everything around me is was created first within a thought form in my mind, okay, if this is the case, then I can get anything I want. I can literally get anything in this world that I want, but I first have to go within, and I have to realize it within myself before I get it on the outside. So this is the reason why you see so many people, I'm sure you probably know so many people that are just angry people. They're mad, they're always upset, they're always in this lack mind state. They're always talking about, oh, things never, work out for me, or things do, they're always doubting themselves. They're always putting themselves down. And then, so this is what creates like a constant cycle of them being down on themselves. They create a cycle. They create a life for themselves, because once you understand that you are the ultimate creator, you are the creator yourself. Jesus, the kingdom of heaven is within. Once you understand this, you no longer externalize things. You have to go within first and tell yourself, okay, everything is perfect, everything is great, life is great, everything's going great, I feel good, I feel awesome. And once you start talking like this to yourself, once you start having this self-realization, everything on the outside will start to reflect everything that you got going on within. But first, it starts with that state of awareness. And there's multiple different tools you can use. There's visualization, there's of course affirmations, but the main thing you want to do is just impress your subconscious into believing that you are already that of which you want to be. So if you want to be happy, you have to trick yourself into being happy. Not necessarily trick yourself into being happy, but program yourself into being a happier person. So when it comes down to it, like I said, you can use affirmations, you can use visualization, you can start visualizing scenes in your brain of you already having everything that you could ever ask for. You could, start affirming for yourself, start affirming a happier life, start claiming it, and don't use anything but present tense terms. So what I mean by this is the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between the future, the past, or whatever. And when you're constantly telling yourself, okay, for example, I will go out and do this, instead of saying, I already have this. So instead of saying, I will be a millionaire, you have to start telling yourself, I am already a millionaire. And the difference between I will be and I am is that you are present tense, and the subconscious mind takes everything literal. So if you're constantly telling yourself, I will be, I will be, I will be, you're just basically telling your mind that you don't have it yet. You're not a millionaire yet, but you're going to have it. And the law of attraction works in the way of, you can only attract what you are. You can't attract what you want. So if you're in a constant state of I want, you're always going to live in that state. It's just going to recycle over and over and over. But if you tell yourself that you are, using the quote I am, basically you become. So you can only attract the frequency at which you vibrate. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.